Good morning. This morning we're going to talk about hand injuries. We run the risk of hand injuries in the profession in which we find ourselves. So this is just something to think about because hand injuries are something which can happen any day and almost at any time in our particular business. So here are some things to think about as you are working, especially with hand tools, and trying to avoid getting your hands and fingers in a bad position. First of all, beware of pinch points. Train yourself to recognize pinch points and to avoid placing your hands and fingers in such hazardous spots. Then also expect the expected. And when I say that, what I mean is when you're using wrenches or other hand tools with which you expect some resistance, anticipate that the tool may very well slip, or that the object to which you're applying the pressure may suddenly give way. Inspect your tools. Check to see if they're in good condition and safe to use. We all have our favorite spud wrench, but sometimes those jaws on the spud wrench start to spread out and then they cease to be a safe tool to use. Don't work on moving equipment. If the equipment can be stopped, try to stop the equipment. Working on moving equipment presents a genuine threat to your hands and your fingers. Replace machine guards following repairs that require the removal of guards. The presence of machine guards is an important factor in keeping hands and fingers out of dangerous areas. Be mindful of equipment that has the potential of starting automatically, like air compressors, things like that. Don't work on equipment without first eliminating the possibility of an automatic startup. Then de-energize electrical equipment prior to working on it. Flash burns caused by electrical equipment shorting out is a threat to your hands and to your fingers when you're working around that kind of equipment. Then be mindful when you're closing doors behind you. Keep hands and fingers clear, and also watch for the hands of someone else who's coming along behind you, perhaps right in close proximity. Then avoid touching lines or equipment that's hot. Every hot line or every hot piece of equipment is a potential source of painful injury to any hand or finger that comes in contact with it. The pipes that come out of our welders get very, very hot, and sometimes that can happen. So just be aware of any hot equipment or a hot line. Then if the work you're performing requires gloves, well, use gloves. The gloves offer protection from sharp objects and wood and metal and splinters and acids and electrical burns and chemicals and a lot of other sources of injuries. These are just a few things I want you to keep in mind as you go about your daily duties and try to accomplish what you can working away every day. So keep these things in mind if you would, please, and try to prevent these hand injuries by thinking about some of these things I've passed on to you this morning. We'll talk again. Thanks very much.